Lads, and ladies, here's my review or my thoughts on the signing of Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth. I'm delighted. I think he's 22 years of age. He's a good age. He's extremely agile. The videos that I saw him in training, he looked fantastic. Very like Dino in the way that he can move about the goal. So yeah, very, very happy. I know obviously we've lost Dino and stuff, and he's got his own targets and whatnot, which is a bit disappointing really from us, from our perspective. Because obviously, he were at Shrewsbury, and then Chris has obviously seen him, or I don't know, maybe Darren Ward's had his input on it, and he brought Dino in, and he's had 2 cracking seasons for us. He's been outstanding, hasn't he? But yeah, we've got to accept that. We've got to move on. He'll always be a blade. Once a blade, always a blade. And I think we've done the right thing as a club. I don't think another season loan is good for us. We need somebody that's going to play every game. I think, I like Simon Moore, but I think the game at Manchester United, away at Man United, when Simon were in there, you saw Chris's reaction when they came off of the drinks break. He weren't happy with his performance. And so we needed to improve that area. So we brought Wes in, and we brought Aaron in as well now. And I just think Aaron's going to be, the fee that they've talked about is apparently undisclosed, but they're saying it's £18.5 million. I think he'll be worth triple that in a couple of years. I know we'll link with Turkish goalkeeper Kakir, or Kakir. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, I'm really, really glad that we've got a permanent goalkeeper now. He's our goalkeeper. He'll only get better. He's had a fantastic first season in Premier League under Bournemouth, and I know they're absolutely gutted to lose him with all the tweets that they've been putting about him. So, it's fantastic. Young, agile goalkeeper, £18.5 million will be worth triple that. So, my verdict, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Absolutely delighted.
I got to tell you, I couldn't be more excited about the signing of Aaron Rambo Ramsdale. I don't want to call him Rambo ever again because I think that's a terrible nickname. Rammers, that's also awful. Just because long term he can now be Sheffield United's goalkeeper. This is, of all the possible signings, the one I wanted the most. Sure, Dean Henderson's great, but you're just making him better for Manchester United, a rival of ours, a team that I believe Sheffield United will be level with in a few years as long as Chris Wilder and Alan Knill are still at the helm. Aaron Ramsdale is going to be our number one for 10, 15 years. He knows the Blades way. He's moving back closer to home. I believe his family live in Stoke, whereas before in Bournemouth, that's a tremendously long journey. He's going to be happy. He's going to be settled. He knows the place. He knows the people. And he proved last season with Bournemouth, despite conceding an extremely large amount of goals, that was because he had a poor defence in front of him, an ageing defence, with apart from Nathan Ake. He's got a much better 5-man defence in front of him at Sheffield United. He still pulled off some magnificent saves. You only need to look at 1 or 2 of the YouTube highlights to see that he's really got a tremendous amount of ability. I was more excited about this one because Rammers can settle quicker than maybe Shakir, the Turkish keeper, who I don't know a lot about, and I imagine most Blades don't. But moving to a foreign climate, as we've seen with Sander Berger, it's always more difficult to adapt. So this means we don't have to worry about any of that. He can get straight into it, and I believe this was the most sensible long-term signing of all the options that we explored. I'm delighted.
Hi Nick, hope you're in good Nick pal. So, well done Sheffield United and well done Chris Wilder. This week unfortunately we didn't re-sign Dean Henderson on loan for another year, but we replaced him the same day with Aaron Ramsdale for 18 million. It might have been 18.5, but yeah, around that figure. And I was speaking to a fellow Blade and we said Jordan Pickford cost 25 million. And he's shocking. If we'd have signed Jordan Pickford for 25 million, I'd have been fuming. But you know what? Aaron Ramsdale, a young English keeper for 18 million, he's already got Premier League experience. I've seen fans unhappy or moaning about the fact that he may have conceded X amount of goals last year, but do you know what? He had the Bournemouth defence in front of him, and he's probably saved them more times than he cost them last year. So you look at that, and with our defence, he's probably going to be way more comfortable in regards to shots coming in, handling the ball, just general overall play as a goalkeeper. I think it's a great signing. We obviously got him on quite a few years as well, which is good. And yeah, I'm happy. Out of 10, I'd rate this signing probably 7.5, 8. He knows the club. He knows what we're about. He loves the fans. He knows the city. That's exactly what Chris Wilder wants. That's a player Chris Wilder has in his team. And you know, he's not going to be one of these keepers who's going to try and do a Cruyff turn on the edge of his box when a player's closing him down. He's just going to boot it, and that's how we play, and that's what we do. So I'm happy with that. That's not what we wanted. Dean Henderson. We all wanted Dean Henderson. Everyone wanted Dean Henderson. I don't care what anyone says. But to have Aaron Ramsdale back, I'm not disappointed. I'm optimistic, and I think he'll fit in. I think he'll do all right. We've also got Foderingham, obviously, as backup, so he's experienced and he's an older keeper, so he's probably going to learn a few things off him as well, even though he's played in the Premier League before him. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with that signing. I think Wilder's done a great bit of business to get it boxed off and sorted within the same day, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get a few more clean sheets than last year and improve and push on. So yeah, Aaron Ramsdale, welcome to Bramall Lane. Up the Blades!
Aaron Ramsdale rejoins the mighty Blades, and I'm delighted. Player of the season last year for Bournemouth. Got some good distribution, something that Henderson arguably didn't always have. He's got the 5 in front of him to protect him from everything else. Young keeper, good attitude, and he's one of our own. And ultimately, in Wilder we trust. Come on, Blades!
Hey Nick, it's Coatsy. Thank you for having me. And a big hello to all the other Blades out there. So what do I think about the signing of Aaron Ramsdale? Well, in a nutshell, I am over the moon. I couldn't be happier. I think he's a fantastic talent. He's only going to get better. He's a great character, and I think he's going to be a real asset to us moving forward as a club. I know one or two have reservations. I'm hearing things like, how could you let him go for 1 million 3 years ago and then go ahead and sign him for 18 million? Admittedly, most of this noise is coming from the blue and white side of Barnsley. But hey, you know, that's football. 3 years ago, we needed the money. We needed to strengthen the first 11. It was a good deal all round. Aaron at the time wasn't a first team regular. And it worked out pretty well, I think we'd agree. Fast forward 3 years, we're now in the market for the brightest up-and-coming young British keeper, and we've gone out and got him. And we've had to pay what we've had to pay. And if Chris Wilder and the team think that sum is fair, then that's fine with me. To not go ahead and look at buying him because we sold him for 1 million 3 years ago would have been the definition of cutting off your nose to spite your face, as far as I'm concerned. Secondly, I've got to mention the guy anyways. I know a few rate Henderson higher than Ramsdale. That's fair enough. And I will always be eternally grateful to Henderson for all he's done for this club. He's been a real part of our meteoric rise up the Football League. But at the end of the day, he's a Manchester player. And, you know, every transfer window, Manchester would mess us around. We wouldn't find out till the last minute. Is he coming back? Is he not? We weren't allowed to play him against Manchester. And that never sat really too well with me, you know. I am so happy that we have his own player now, his own keeper. And let's face it, at 22 years old, Aaron could be with us for 15 years. I think it's a truly wonderful signing. I can't wait to see him in a Blaze shirt. And I hope you all agree. And if you don't, I'm sure he'll win you over.
So, Ramsdale signing. What can I say about that? First of all, I just can't go without saying big thanks to Dean Henderson, who was an amazing goalkeeper for us during those 2 years. He really was an integral part of how we play. He was absolutely perfect on and off the pitch. He was perfect with the fans. He was always smiley after the matches. He talked to people around the stadium, around the Bramall Lane. Really, he was a massive part, and I would be happy to see him back wherever he play. And once a blade, always a blade, as they say. Now to Ramsdale. Well, I'm really happy with the signing. And first of all, he's a young, talented goalkeeper. And in terms of assets and nice words which were said during the interviews by Chris Wilder, he really can become a nice asset we have because he is young. He is already an experienced player. He had an amazing season with Bournemouth last year in the Premier League, so he has experience. It's obviously really important to play successfully in the Premier League. Also, he was a part of the Blades family before, so he knows some of the players, he knows the gaffer, he knows the city, many of his friends live here, so I think it will be a nice atmosphere and it won't be really difficult for him to adapt to the new conditions. I think he'll become a great addition to our squad, to our roster. Also, if we pay 18.5 million, as it's being reported, it's really a great sum of money, a great deal. He is young, as I said before. He has a lot of perspective. He's already experienced, so I can't really say how the signing can go wrong. Really, he can only become better, and he's becoming better. I think he will be becoming better with every match, and I really want to see him play. But the only problem or concern I have about Ramsdale signing is how loaded our goalkeeper department is, and it's so difficult to understand how things are gonna work there. With second goalkeeper, it's gonna be Wes, or it's gonna be Michel, or it's gonna be Simon or somebody else. It's really interesting to see how it's gonna what's gonna happen. But I'm really happy with Ramsdale signing, and I think he'll be great for us.
Look at that ping from Norwood. Makes other teams look no good. We've got a team full of leaders. Alan Hill, Chris Wilder taught us. Yeah, there was us on the tour bus. Look how many goals Billy scored us. It's beautiful downtown Bramall Lane. We are the boys from Shore.